not allowed to be in the event permit. You can go a block over and do whatever you want.
I'm in a public right away.
This is a special event.
Doesn't matter.
You can go over there. I'll go get the police.
You can get the police. Right. I'll talk to him because I have a right to be here.
No, you don't.
This is public property, right?
We're a special event permit. You notice the streets were closed.
Yeah. Do people have to pay to be in here?
Yes,
they do.
People. Well, you're only allowed to do certain things in here under the authorization of the people that hold the permit, which is Hutchinson, and you're not authorized to do that. So I need you to move a block over and you can do whatever you want.
So you have to pay to be in here.
Are you going to move or not?
Are you going to answer my question? You have to pay to be in here.
You cannot do that.
Wait.
I'm done talking to you. Either moving or I'm calling the police. Your choice.
I mean, I'll talk.
Your choice. Move.
You don't have to yell at me, sir.
I do too, because you're not listening to me.
No, you're not listening. You're not answering my questions.
Get the officer real quick.
Are you trying to violate my First Amendment rights?
No, I'm trying to get you to listen to me.
I am listening to you. You're not answering my questions. Folks, you're living in the midst of a Holocaust where children are being slaughtered through abortion every single day by the thousands.
So you're going to have to move out of the event area? Because you don't have a permit. You have to have a permit inside of their event area.
No, I'm part of the public. There's people in here who are part of the public. And you told me that you don't have to pay to be in here.
No, they are, but they've got this part of the city reserved for a private event.
You can't. I mean, the First Amendment protects my free speech here. No.
You can't be in here without a permit.
I'm not a vendor. I don't have to have a permit because I'm part of the public.
You do have to have a permit to be in here because they have this area of the town reserved for their event.
I'm part of the public. So
you're going to
do they do it? So who are you selective on who gets in here and who isn't in here?
As long as you got a permit, they let anybody.
Does everybody have a permit to be here?
Everybody that's a vendor.
Well, I'm not a vendor. I don't need to be a vendor.
Okay, but you're going to have to go outside of the area because you can't be in here because they have this area of town reserved for their event.
But
you do not have a permit.
I don't need a permit.
You do through their business.
No, I don't.
This part of town reserve.
No, he told me that people don't have to pay to be in here.
You're right. The public that's coming in for the event don't have to.
Yeah, we're coming in for the event.
Okay, you can't be in here with a megaphone.
Well, show me an ordinance that says that you can't use a megaphone.
You're going to have to be outside of the.
No, I have a First Amendment right to be here.
Okay, you can be here, but you can't be on the loudspeaker.
Show me the ordinance that says I can.
I don't have an ordinance.
And I'm going to continue to use it if you can't show it to me.
You're not going to be allowed to.
Then may I speak with your supervisor, please?
My supervisor is not on duty.
Well, can I speak with someone higher up?
Yes, you are welcome to go down to the police station.
I'm gonna stay right here because you're violating my First Amendment rights.
I am not violating.
Yes, you are, sir. Or you don't know it very well.
So you are not going to be allowed to be in here in the area that they have cordoned off.
So what will happen if I don't leave?
Well, we can stand here. You're welcome to stand here, but you can't be using the loudspeaker.
Well, you can't show me an ordinance that says that megaphones are not allowed. So if you can't show me an ordinance, then I'm going to use it.
I can't show you anything because I don't have it with me.
Well,
but you're not going to be allowed to be in here doing that.
Why?
Because they have this area of town set aside for a special event.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you can't use a megaphone. Unless you have to have an ordinance that says you cannot use amplification, and you can't show me that.
I can't show you anything right now, no.
Okay, then I'm going to continue to use it.
But I'm not going to allow you to continue to use that inside of the area that's set aside for Third Thursday.
So what will happen if I continue to use it?
Well, you're probably going to get arrested.
You're going to arrest me for using a megaphone. You're going to violate my First Amendment right.
Interference with law enforcement because I've told you. You can't.
You have yet to show me how. You had to show me anything that says I can't use this.
Okay.
I mean, if I turn it down, would that be a problem?
Probably, because you're still in here using a megaphone, and you don't have a permit.
Others have used a megaphone here before without any problem. I do believe.
Probably not while there's an event going on, no.
That doesn't matter. I mean, if it's conflicting with other vendors, then I can go like place where it won't conflict with them. But
and about a block west would be perfect.
Well, but we're here to reach people.
There's people all around on the outside of the perimeter.
There's people inside here.
And there will be people coming in and out. And as long as you're outside of the perimeter, you're okay with doing that.
And I'm okay right here.
You can't.
So you're saying I cannot use a megaphone while I'm here, but I'm okay to just be right here without a megaphone?
Well, you're part of the public. You can be here, yes.
Okay.
But you can't be in here using the megaphone in the predetermined area that they've sectioned off for their event.
And
they have a special permit through the city for this event. And
you cannot cite the ordinance for me that says I can't use a megaphone.
No, I don't know.
You just expect me to take your word for it.
But they have this sectioned off for a special event, and they feel that you're interfering with their event and disturbing the people that are here.
That doesn't matter. The
for
First
their
Amendment
event.
protects your ability to disturb the public. It protects your ability to disturb the public. That's what the First Amendment is help.
But what's the purpose for disturbing the public?
Doesn't matter what the purpose is. The First Amendment protects your right to disturb the public. And it doesn't matter if people don't like it. That's why the First Amendment exists, to protect speech that people don't like. If people like the speech, then you don't need a First Amendment because they're not going to complain.
And I agree with you. If you're out in the public, up and down the public streets, when there's not a special event that
Doesn't
has
matter
a
if there's a
permit
special
for
event or
that,
not.
It does, because Hutch Rec has a permit for this event. They have the permit through the city to have a certain area sectioned off just for their event. They control all of the vendors and everything that comes in and out.
Well, if you're part of the public, then you have every right to be here.
I agree, you do have a right to be here, but you can't be in here using the megaphone because they feel it is disturbing their area that they have a permit and they have it cordoned off for that.
Well, it doesn't matter what they feel. It's you have to have an ordinance. Okay. So next week after this event is over, can I use this?
I wouldn't see why not.
So if I can be here with the sign, and if I can be here without the megaphone here, and next week it doesn't matter if I use the megaphone or not, then that's violating my First Amendment.
Because next week they don't have this area sectioned off for a special event.
Well, you would need an ordinance to say I can't use a megaphone. If you don't, then I can use it.
But Hutch Rec applied for a permit to have a certain area of town cordoned off, and Hutch Rec has the control over the area within that permit area.
Not according, but they can't violate the First Amendment of someone who wants to.
They have permission through the city. They have the authority through the city governing body to have this area within their control.
But not when that control violates someone's First Amendment rights.
They have the area for the permit.
No, not in contradiction to the First Amendment that someone wants to use.
So what are you trying to accomplish?
Doesn't matter what I'm trying to accomplish. The thing is, I'm just trying to make sure no one's violating my First Amendment rights.
Okay.
And so.
And you're absolutely more than welcome to set up just outside of the permit area. And exercise your First Amendment.
I'm doing it right now.
And as long as you're not being vulgar over your megaphone.
Oh, I'm not going to be vulgar.
You can share your opinion
on the megaphone
all day long, but not within the area that they have set aside through their permit.
Well, you just said I could be here because I'm part of the public, right?
Yes, you can be here because you're part of the public.
Okay, so I'm going to be here.
But they, as permit holders, get to decide what goes on within the permit area.
But not if that violates your, because what if they don't want me here? That doesn't matter if I'm part of the public.
It's not that they don't want you here. They don't want you here with a megaphone disturbing the people that come to their event. Just outside of their permit area, you're more than welcome to do that.
Okay. So if I turn it down again, will that be?
Turning it down is not going to help. They don't want you inside here using the megaphone to promote whatever you're promoting. I'm not saying it's not a good cause, because I don't know what you're promoting or what you're sharing. But inside of their permit area, they get to decide what gets shared.
No, that's not true. Because you would allow someone giving out tracts that promote homosexuality or whatever. You'd allow that, even if they don't like it or not. You'd allow it.
And people don't have to take that if they don't want.
Yeah, and people don't have to accept what I'm proclaiming to them.
But they don't get a choice in hearing it if you're using a megaphone. That's the problem. They don't get a choice in not hearing it.
Well, they don't get a choice in not seeing this, right? But you're saying that's okay.
Right, and they don't have to look at that.
Yeah, and they don't have to listen to me.
But if they're within earshot, they don't get a choice on that.
Well, they can walk away if they don't like it. And if I turn it down, then they'd hear me even less. If I go down there, I wouldn't be interfering with the bands over there.
Right, and as long as I don't know what you mean by down there.
Well, like down there, I don't hear any noise or bands playing over there. So I don't see where it'd be a problem down there.
I wasn't saying you're interfering with the bands, but it's.
Well, that's kind of what you're referring to, right?
No.
Because if I'm interfering with like part of the public, you can say that anywhere I go. You can say it anywhere, not just a festival, but I could go anywhere and you could say I'm interfering.
But I didn't say you were interfering with the public. I said that you're promoting what you're promoting, which is not necessarily wrong, but inside of an area that is sectioned off for a special event. If you're right outside of the permit area, as long as you're not being vulgar, you can promote your beliefs.
That's what I'm doing right here. I'm inside the event, and you're saying that's okay, right?
Yes, but you're not going to be able to use the loudspeaker and.
So again, what are the consequences if I use the megaphone?
Well, I mean, you risk criminal charges because of interference with law enforcement. I'm directing you that you have to get outside of their permit area if you're going to use your loudspeaker.
Okay. So you'll possibly arrest me if I get on the megaphone.
You could potentially face charges.
And even if I turn it down.
Yes, because they have control over this area and they don't want you using it in here.
Is there any higher up I can speak to? You said your supervisor is off right now.
My supervisor is off, but you're welcome to go down to the police department.
That's someone who can come down here to talk to me?
No, because the commander that's on duty is at the police station in the command center. You're welcome to go down and speak with him.
Well, I don't have time to go down there right now.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. You can't get him on the phone now and I can talk to him?
No, because he's in the command center at the law enforcement center.
Okay.
You're welcome to go down and speak with him. It's only a few blocks away.
Okay. Well, that'd be very inconvenient to me, a taxpayer, so...
I understand that, but they feel it's inconvenient for you to be doing what you're doing in the area that they have reserved for their event.
Well, it shouldn't be inconvenient for the police because the police are serving the public, right?
I'm not saying you're being inconvenient.
Oh, okay. You mean to the event?
The people at Hutch Rec have the authority to decide what goes on within their event area. I'm not saying what your thoughts and beliefs and what you're promoting is wrong.
Okay.
But inside of their area that they have a permit for, they get to decide what gets promoted and what doesn't.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
That's a violation of the First Amendment.
When vendors sign up, they get to choose whether or not to approve those vendors.
Well, we're not a vendor.
And whether
we're part of the public.
And whether it's a vendor selling something or whether it's just a vendor promoting maybe a political party or anything else, they get to decide who gets a permit for that.
Well, we're not a vendor.
Who gets allowed.
We're just part of the public, so it doesn't apply to us.
I'm not saying you're a vendor. You're in here promoting something, and they don't want you promoting stuff with a loudspeaker.
That doesn't matter what they want or not. It's our First Amendment that gives us the right to do it.
Well, it does if they have the authority by that permit.
They don't have authority to prevent that, right?
They do have a permit. It's through the city. It's through City Hall. Jeff Johnson with the Hutch Rec Commission applied for that permit and was granted it by City Hall. Okay. I saw it. I saw all the maps and everything.
So if I get on the megaphone, even if I turn it down, you're gonna possibly arrest me.
Yes. He is acting as an authority with Hutch Rec, and he does not want you using the megaphone in their permit area.
Okay.
So turning it down is not going to accomplish anything.
So I'm gonna risk arrest if I use it.
Yes.
Okay.
You can risk the arrest of interference with law enforcement. I've directed you that you can't be in here based on their permit.
Well, you said I can't use a megaphone. You didn't say I couldn't be in here. Right. Is that correct?
He can't use the megaphone in here, right?
He can't use the megaphone or the sign. He
didn't say anything about sign.
7 church groups up here that went through the process and have.
We're not a vendor. We're part of the public.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
To have
Yes,
that,
it does.
can they finish? To have that and to have that, you have to go through the process. Plenty of church groups are up and down this street that went through the process and are just fine. You did not go through the process, so I'm asking you to leave.
I don't need to be a vendor, and he's not telling me that. He's just saying I can't use them. I can't use.
Take your sign and megaphone. We need to get out of the permit area.
Well, you just said I could be in here without a megaphone, right?
No, he does
So
not
please,
want the
please,
sign
please
and
take your hand off
megaphone.
me.
So we need the
Please take your hand off me.
Okay. Let's go out of the permit.
So
area.
you're saying you just said I could be here without the megaphone. You just told me that.
He does not want you here with
No,
the sign.
that doesn't matter what he wants.
Yes, because
you
he's with
just
Hutch Rec,
told me I
and
could
they're
be
the
here
ones
without a
that have-
megaphone.
They're the ones that have the permit.
No,
So they
you just told me that I could be here without a megaphone.
No,
you told
they
me
have
that.
an application process.
Doesn't matter.
To get
I'm not a
set
vendor.
up to promote anything. Are you saying the churches that are here are vendors?
I don't know. I'm saying it. We're not vendors. We're part of the public. You said we have a right to be here.
And so are church groups. But they went through the process to get their booth set up so they can promote.
We don't have a booth. We're part of the public.
I understand that.
And you said that we could be here if I don't use the megaphone.
In their event, you have to get approval through them and go through the process to get a booth.
We're not looking for a booth. We're part of the public.
But maybe next Thursday, if you go through Hutch Rec and apply for a spot.
I don't need to apply for a spot. We're part of the public.
We need to leave the permit area.
No,
Sir.
you said please
Sir,
take your hand off me. Please take your hand off me, officer. Please.
We need to leave
You said as long as I don't use a megaphone, I have a right to be here.
We need to get outside the permit
And you're violating
area.
my First Amendment rights right now.
We
Yes,
need
you
to
are.
leave the
What's your
permit
badge
area.
number? Please take your hand off me. What's your badge number?
124.
Okay. So, Officer Sack. What's
Yes.
that?
I said, you want to just let it go?
No, because you're violating my First Amendment right. You just said I could be here without using a megaphone. I'm not using a
He, as
megaphone.
Hutch Rec,
It doesn't.
does not want you in here with the sign of the
That
megaphone.
doesn't matter. I'm part of the public. I mean,
asked you to leave. He's asked you to leave. Please leave.
he said he said it was okay for me to be here without the megaphone.
Okay, we need to leave now, and you could also be facing charges of criminal trespass. You've been advised that you need to
I'm
leave
going
the
off what you
permit
told me,
area.
Officer Sack. I'm going off what you told me.
I think your best option is to go now.
No, I'm defending the First Amendment. You're violating my First Amendment rights. I could sue you for what you're doing right now. I could sue you. I could sue you for what you're doing to me right now. You're violating my First Amendment rights.
You are more than welcome to sit
Other
out.
days you could come, but not.
It doesn't matter. I have a right to be here, a First Amendment right, and you're violating that First Amendment right.
You wouldn't be allowed to go in a private business.
We're not at a private business. We're outside on a public sidewalk,
But
and you're violating my.
that public area is set aside for this event specifically.
Doesn't matter. I'm part of the public. I keep telling you that, officer. I'm part of the public.
I understand that. I know.
No,
you're
I don't
part
think
of
you
the public.
do, because you're violating my First Amendment right now.
Where do you want to exit the permit area?
I want to be right here.
You're not going to stay here with your sign.
So what will happen if I don't
We need
leave?
to exit the permit area.
What will happen if I don't
You've been
leave?
advised by the Hutchinson Commission, who has control over this permit area, that you need to leave with your sign and megaphone. If you don't do that, you are trespassing.
So if I don't,
And you
so
could
even,
risk-
so even if I
could
don't,
risk charges of criminal trespass and
even though you
interference
told me I
with
could be here, you told me I
without
could.
the megaphone and the sign, because
You
that's
never
what
said anything about the sign. You never said a word about the
because
sign.
he didn't tell me that prior.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
I'm a public citizen.
I understand that.
I don't think you do, because you're saying I can't be here exercising my First Amendment right as a public citizen. That's a violation of my First
You can be
Amendment.
here, but Hutch Rec,
No, well, you're saying I
with
can't
that
be
permit,
here.
with that permit, gets to
I don't
decide
need
who promotes what they want to promote within this area.
That's a violation of the First
And
Amendment.
they don't want you promoting that in here.
That doesn't matter. That's a violation of the First
So
Amendment.
we need to leave the permit area with the sign and the megaphone. After you take that outside of the permit area, if you choose to come back in, you can do that. But don't bring the megaphone and the sign back in. They don't want it in here.
That doesn't matter if they don't want it.
It does, because they have control over this area.
No. And you told me before if I don't use a megaphone, it's okay.
He said he doesn't want the sign
It
in
doesn't
here.
matter what he says.
And
He doesn't own the public sidewalk. He doesn't own the public streets where the public where
I
people
agree.
are. Well, you're not agreeing with me because you're trying
No,
to kick
I
me out.
agree with you on that, but
No, you're not.
at certain times, the city can authorize certain areas of town to be under the control of a permit holder. And right now, this area is under the control of that permit holder because they've got authorization through the city. By all means, sir, if you want to go through the process next time there's a third Thursday, all you need to do is turn in an application with Hutch Rec and get their approval to be here. And if they grant that approval, then
I have approval.
you
the
don't
first,
have
the
anything
First
to worry
Amendment.
about.
I don't have anything to worry about now. My approval is the First Amendment.
But you
That
do
is.
because this area is set aside.
No, are you going to kick out everybody with a sign?
If the authorities from Hutch Rec don't want it in their permit area, then yes, we would ask people to leave if they have signs.
Well, they're okay with them being here. So why are you kicking me out? Why are you discriminating against me?
I'm not discriminating against you.
You are.
I'm acting on the behalf of Hutch Rec, and they don't want you in here with the
Based
sign.
on the megaphone, I shut the megaphone down. So what's the problem?
But the gentleman with Hutch Rec said he didn't want the sign up here either.
Then he's violating my First Amendment right, and you as an officer have a duty to protect my First
Well,
Amendment.
and if you want to file a complaint about that, you can. You can talk with the authorities at Hutch Rec, but they have control over this area.
No, not in a violation of someone's First Amendment rights. Someone is part of the public, a taxpayer who pays for these sidewalks. And you're
I'm not disagreeing that you're part of the public and that you're
well, you're trying to kick me out.
I'm not trying to kick you out, but you need to take your sign and your megaphone out of the permit area.
Well, then you're kicking me out.
And like I said, you're welcome to come back in, but not with that stuff.
So if they're welcome to be here, why am I not welcome to be
Well,
here?
I'm talking to you now, and
Okay.
for all I know, as soon as I get back here, they're going to hit me up about them too. I don't know. But I'm talking with you.
That's a clear violation of the First Amendment, and you know it, sir. You know
We
it.
need to find a way to get out of the permit area. Are you parked in a certain spot?
So what will you do if I do not leave?
Well, you're trespassing because you've been asked to leave. You've been told to leave.
Even though I'm a public citizen on a public right-of-way, public sidewalk.
Yes.
That's a clear violation of the First Amendment.
Because of the permit area.
That doesn't matter. That's a clear violation of the First Amendment.
Where do you want to exit the permit area?
So will you arrest me if I don't leave now?
Well, I'm not going to give you a definite answer on that, but you could be facing charges, yes, because
Okay.
you've been asked to leave by the people that are in charge of this area,
So
and
maybe-
you're refusing to do so.
So I may be charged if I don't leave.
You could be charged with criminal trespass and interference with law enforcement, yes.
Okay. Well, you're violating.
I didn't realize that this whole event changed. Now you need a permit.
No, you
I
don't.
told you about the sound ordinance. Normally they don't have a sound ordinance, but I guess in this situation, they're saying that we can't use what we're doing, except for handing out tracts and holding up the sign. That's it.
Well, they won't even let you hold up a sign because that's why they're kicking me out. They're not kicking me out because of the megaphone. Primarily, they're kicking me out because of the signs. They don't want it here, and it's a violation of the First Amendment. And
They've even actually had to apply as Hutchinson to get sound permits for the music. They had to get special permits for that.
well, as part of the public, you don't need that. So.
I'm not sure what to tell you to do. I know we're friends, but I know you've done this before. But
I've had my rights violated before.
well, I mean, it's
Okay, so
you're at your own risk.
so if I leave and put the sign and megaphone away, I can come back then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Do you have your vehicle close by that you can put it in, or?
yeah, I do. So you could get sued for what you're doing now, officer. Just so you know that you could get sued. Yeah, you are violating my First Amendment rights.
Sir, you're entitled to your thoughts.
No, I'm not. So.
I'm not going to tell you. We're in the middle of it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you all could get sued for violating my First Amendment rights.